So unstable. Okay. So the subject called Advanced Web Programming, which mainly deals with ASP.NET, which is your active server page .NET technologies, .NET technology, along with your C Sharp language. It mainly has 5 units altogether. So in first chapter, we'll be studying about introducing .NET. What is .NET? .NET is a framework which comprises of many languages along with CTS, CLS, and CLR, and it is an uh, extended framework of Microsoft .NET. Initially, they have provided 2.0 framework. Currently, we are using 4.0 or 4.5 framework along with Visual Studio 2016 or 17. 19 is already there. So just starting with chapter number 1, that is your introducing your .NET. So topic will be covering the .NET framework, C Sharp, what is C Sharp, what is VB, and the .NET languages. There are 15 languages .NET framework supports. Then the most important thing is the common language runtime, and the .NET class library is very important thing. Wait. Okay. Barge is waiting. That's why I have instructed to join before 5 or 10 minutes to avoid disturbance. So the topics are the .NET framework, C Sharp, VB, and the .NET languages. Total 15 languages. .NET framework support, the common language runtime, and .NET class library. These are the important topics that we have to discuss today. First, current. Yes. Okay. The .NET framework is a diagram of .NET framework. Initially, you can see at bottom level or a root level, we have operating system, then CLR, common language runtime, which is a backbone of your .NET framework. Then we have base class library. About that, ADO.NET, active data object.NET, which is useful for connecting your database object with .NET framework. And XML, as you know, XML stands for extensible markup language. Then we have ASP.NET. In that ASP.NET, we have waveforms either or web services. And another option is Windows Form using Visual Basic or C Sharp basic Windows Form development. Then we have common language specification. By using common language specification, .NET framework supports 15 different languages. Out of that, 5 languages are given here. VB, that is your Visual Basic, C++, C Sharp. It is pronounced as C Sharp, not C hash. It is then JScript, J Sharp is there. Then we have F Sharp also, and other several languages supported in your .NET framework. Again, see this .NET framework architecture. Base, we have operating system. Then we have common language runtime, base class library, ADO.NET, and XML. Then we have ASP.NET development using web forms and web services. Then we can develop Windows Form using VB, C Sharp, or ASP also. Then we have common language specification. Then VB, C++, C Sharp, JScript, and J Sharp is there. So .NET framework platform is a platform created by Microsoft. Actually, it is a vendor specific platform for building. Building means for developing and creating such an applications using multiple languages, then deploying. What do you mean by deploying? Deploying is a process when we have created something and it is ready to use, kind of thing. Then running an application and services that uses .NET technology such as desktop application and web services. Remember, in using .NET framework, you can develop desktop application as well as web services also. So here are few features of .NET framework. It is a platform for application developers. Basically, it is a framework that support multiple language and cross language integration. Now, what do you mean by cross language integration? You can use one language reference with another programming language by using class library or other functionalities. It has IDE, integrated development environment. You can type there and see the output itself there. Then we have framework is a set of utilities or can say building blocks of our application system. Then main system is .NET framework provides interoperability between languages, that is common type system. So you can switch in between common languages by using common type system. .NET framework also includes .NET common language runtime, which is responsible for maintaining the execution of all applications developed using .NET libraries. Now library plays a crucial role using .NET framework. Which set of libraries useful and available for which set of classes you can use. Suppose you are using C# or you are using F# or J#, different set of class libraries available and provided by .NET framework, and it is updated at regular interval. The .NET framework consists primarily of gigantic library of code. Huge set of libraries are present over there. You can just use that libraries. So basically .NET framework is a platform created by Microsoft for building, deploying and running applications and services that uses .NET technology, such as desktop applications and web services. Clear? Raise your hand if you're clear. What are the advantages that .NET framework provides? With the .NET framework, the quantity of codes used in large web application can reduce. So basically .NET framework provides an option or functionality of reusing the components or reusing the code. So instead of writing code again and again, you can reuse that piece of code within that application or different application. Then as Windows confirmation or configuration can obtain at each step of development, web application developed in ASP.NET will be secure. So ASP.NET provides an extra layer of security while developing any application, because this application is deployed and run on server side, which is your local host basically. When you develop a .NET framework, it provides WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. It is simple. What you design is what you get. Drag and drop automatic operations are possible. It provides server and blueprints. Development is very secure in ASP.NET framework, as HTML and source code will be separated automatically. ASP.NET provides the functionality of creating web pages at different place and your XML pages as well as your web forms. The .NET platform is a server-side technology. Hence, .NET code will be performed on the server. As I said, server-side technology, basically, it is hosted on a local host of your computer before getting directed to the web server. ASP.NET platform is multi-language compatible. What do you mean by multi-language compatible? You can use ASP.NET with multiple languages. Either I can select C#, J#, F#, C++ or VB using ASP.NET. These are the advantages provided by .NET framework. Now, what are the components of .NET framework? Basically, .NET framework comprises of 3 to 4 more components, important components. First is user interface and program. User interface is simple. Whatever you are looking at on your mobile or laptop screen is your user interface. We can create various type of application using .NET framework, such as either console application, that is your command prompt, then Windows application and web application. These 3 kind of applications you already studied somewhere in SY or in FY also. Then we have base class library, which is very essential part for .NET framework. Base class library is one of the component of .NET framework. It supplies a library of base classes that we can use to implement applications quickly. So you can select any classes out of that library and use that code for your enhancement. Then we have CLR, which is very important thing. A common language runtime is a programming virtual component, machine component that manages the execution of programs written in any language that uses .NET framework. I repeat, it manages the execution of programs written in any language that uses .NET framework. For example, either you can use C#, VB.NET, F#, and so on. So it is used to execute different languages that is compliant with your .NET framework. So you can say that CLR is heart and soul of .NET framework, or a backbone of that .NET framework. One sec. Okay. So these are the components. One more component is there. That is your CLR. Common language runtime is a programming virtual machine, as we have already discussed, which is used to execute and manage programs written in many languages or multiple languages that are .NET compliant. Then programmer write code in any language, including VB.NET and C# and F#, then compile their program into intermediate form of code called CLI, that is your command line interface, in a portable execution file. You can compile that file like you have compiled your source code in Java, then class file is generated. Similar kind of thing is there that can be managed and used by CLR. Then the CLR converts into the machine code. It will be executed by the processor. The information about the environment and programming language, its version, and what class libraries will be used for this code are stored in the form of metadata with the compiler that tells CLR how to handle this code. So basically CLR deals with your compiler and code that you have already compiled and that part executable file. The CLR allows the instance of class written in one language to call method of the class written in another language. So it is used for cross language functioning. CLR. This is a architecture of CLR. CTS, common type system. CLR, common language specification is there. MSIL, Microsoft Intermediate Language. What do you mean by intermediate language? An interface between two things is your intermediate language. Then we have loading and execution. Then garbage collection is known to you. You have already studied that in Java. Then memory management, security, exception handling. Then type safety. Again, I repeat, CTS, common type system. Then CLS, MSIL, loading and execution, garbage collection, memory management, security, exception handling, and type safety. Components of CLR. Main component is CTS, common type system, that describe the set of types that can be used in different. Suppose I am using integer type or a float type, data type, or any namespace in any of the framework or C# or VB. So it defines its type, which type you are using. That is a common type system. Ensure the object written in different .NET language can interact with each other. For communicating between programs written in any .NET compliant language, basic criteria is it has to be .NET compliant language. It is not like that this language is not .NET compliant, .NET compliant and you are using directly. So these values can be value types or reference type. We will study this in upcoming lectures. The value types are passed by values and stored in stack. What is a stack? Area where your memory location can be traced out and object can be referenced. The reference types are passed by reference and stored in the heap. Heap is a area where you can actually redirect your object. So this is CTS, common type system. CLS stands for common language specification, which is a subset of CTS. It defines a set of rules and restrictions that every language must follow, which runs under .NET framework. The languages which follow this set of rules are said to be CLS compliant. In simple words, CLS enables cross-language integration in interoperability. So CLS can be better explained with the example. One example is there. If we take C# and VB.NET in each C# statement must have to end with semicolon. So we'll study about this in during practicals. C# statement has to be ended with semicolon, but it is not a case in VB.NET. So you are not allowed to use semicolon for termination. So this syntax rule which have to follow from language to language differ, but CLR can understand all the language syntax, because in .NET each language is converted first into MSIL code. What is MSIL code? Microsoft Intermediate Language Code. So after compilation, the MSIL code is language specification of CLR. Then this code is passed to a CLR. Then CLR passes this code to a compiler. Got that? If you are understanding this concept, please raise your hand. If any doubt is there, we'll solve your doubt at the end of this session. MSIL, as we have already said, MSIL is Microsoft Intermediate Language. Wait, one more is waiting. It is a language independent code. When you compile a code that uses a .NET library, we don't immediately create an operating system with specific native code. So basically, whenever you compile anything or write a normal code in either in C# or either in VB, when you try to compile that code, that code will be compiled into or converted into first MSIL code, then into a native language. So we compile our code into Microsoft Intermediate Language. The MSIL code is not specific to any operating system or to any language. You can use MSIL code at any operating system or any language. So this is a syntax scenario where your source code get compiled by .NET compiler, that converted into MSIL. Then MSIL forwards this code to CLR, and then CLR will actually run your program. So it's not like that you're typing some program or creating a sub program. You just compile that program and you got a output simply. It's not that simple. First, source code has to go through a .NET compiler. Compiler will pass that code, whether that code is valid or not, based on that syntax. Then it convert into MSIL, Microsoft Intermediate Language code. Then MSIL transfer that code to a CLR. CLR is your common language runtime. Then CLR pass that code to a running program. Then you got the actual output of that program. So got MSIL is clear? Please raise your hand. Okay. Advantages MSIL provides. MSIL provides language interoperability, as code in any .NET language is compiled on MSIL. So whatever you are using in .NET language specification or .NET framework, basically it based on MSIL. Then sample performance in all .NET languages, support for different runtime environments. JIT is a very common compiler, especially we are using in Java or just-in-time compiler. In CLR, convert MSIL code into native machine code, which is executed by the OS. Now there is a functions of CLR, which is very important. Garbage collector, garbage collection mechanism is known to you in SOS IT, same for core Java. Then we have exception handling, type safety. Now type safety is a mechanism where suppose I am converting one data type into other data type, then that type has to be preserved. That value, suppose I am converting any integer into a float, then that conversion has to be proper. It's not like we are converting that value and that value is not valid one. So memory management is there using garbage collector. Then CLR, most important is security has to be there and improve performance. So day by day CLR is improving itself. So functions of CLR are clear: garbage collector, exception handling, type safety, memory management using garbage collector, security, improve performance, and so on. So this is base class library, which is a very important part of your .NET framework. Starting from basic or base, system classes are there, where collection, diagnostics, globalization, IO, security, threading, serialization, reflection, messaging, etc. is there. Then above that we have XML classes, drawing classes, Windows form is there, data with database, your ADO.NET, active data object using SQL or Oracle type. Then we have web classes, which will be used with ASP.NET, and above that we'll use unified classes. This is a base class library. By using this set of libraries, you can extract what is required for your program. Suppose I want to develop an application in ASP.NET using ADO.NET. Suppose I want to design a form or web form in a such a way that I will extract some data from database. So I have to use this base set library with data. Suppose I want to design some Windows component using Windows form, then I have to select from that Windows form. Suppose I want to create any XML based web pages, then we have to use XML classes. Got that? This is a base class library. So what is base class library? It is similar to Java system namespaces. We have already went through Java system.out.println. System namespace is there, used by all .NET application, has classes for IO, input output, threading. Threading is known to you. Database, text, graphics, console, sockets, webmails, security, cryptography, COM, runtime, type discovery, invocation, assembly generation, single consistent set of object oriented class libraries to enable building distributed web application, unified classes, built using classes arranged across logical hierarchical namespaces, work with all language CLR languages, no more VB run or MFC divide. Example, wait. Single consistent set of object oriented class libraries to enable building distributed web applications, unified classes with CLR languages, no more VB run or MFC divide. Then example is there. Suppose I am using system.text namespace. It is used for ASCII, Unicode, etc. encoding. What do you mean by ASCII? American Standard Code for Information Interchange. Then we have system.text.regular expression, handling system threading, thread support, system timers, raising time control events. Then we have web.ui.web controls, graphical web controls, system.windows form, graphical controls using buttons. These are the namespaces that can be used with your .NET Framework compliant languages. Then we have system, different kinds of namespaces you can use. Their subsystems or namespaces is there, data.oldb, system diagnosis, system.date, system not socket, Windows form. Now this is a .NET Framework base class library is a sub part of framework that provides library support to common language, runtime to work properly. It includes the system namespace and core language of .NET Framework. So it is a base class library. Look at carefully, sorry. In system namespace, we have collection, IO, security, runtime, configuration, net, service process, interoperate services, diagnostic, reflection, text, remoting, globalization, resources, threading, and serialization. So base class libraries, system.web, system.windows forms, Windows form, system.drawing, system.data, system.xml. These are the base class libraries you can use directly with your .NET compliant languages. Just quickly go through previous topics, those who missed. So these are the topics: the .NET Framework, C#, VB, and the .NET languages, the common language runtime, the .NET class libraries. First, we went through .NET Framework. This is the architecture of .NET Framework, starting with the operating system, then common language runtime, base class library, ADO.NET and XML, ASP.NET, web forms, web services, Windows form, common language specification, VB. These are the languages that is compliant with your .NET Framework. Then we have .NET Framework. What is .NET Framework? How it is used? What are the advantages of .NET Framework? Then components, user interface program, base class library, common language runtime, architecture of CLR, CTS, CLS, MSIL, loading and execution, memory management, security, exception handling, type safety. The components of CLR, which is important, CTS, CLS. For example, it is cross language interoperability. Then we have MSIL, which is very important. Whatever you write in .NET Framework, first it get converted into Microsoft Intermediate Language. Source code, this is a scenario. Then we have advantages, base class library is there. You can use these different classes for your program writing purposes. Then These are the namespaces you can use. And at last you have framework based class library.